someone goes, okay, I got a great lot of coffee I'm going to sell you. I go, okay, I want you to send me a pre-shipped sample, PSS for short. Pre-shipped sample is just what it sounds like. It's a sample that they send us before shipping. So when they send us that sample, are they sending us the roasted coffee? This is not part of the test, but just, are they sending us roasted coffee, do you think, or green coffee?
Green coffee.
Okay. Why would they send us green coffee, not roasted coffee? Freshness is right. Like when we cup the coffee, we're obviously cupping it roasted. We don't want it to have been roasted a week or 2 weeks before and then we're cupping it. It'll be not as fresh as we like it. Two, we're not sure that and when we roast it to a particular profile, and we're going to talk more about that later. And so we want to make sure that we're roasting it the way we want to roast it. And then three, you can tell a lot about the quality of the coffee by the green bean. You know, by looking at the green bean, you can tell if it's old, like past crop, new crop, if it has a lot of defects, even if it's a different variety. And sometimes even if it's a different origin. So the green bean can give you a lot of clues already on the quality of the coffee. Plus, we can take that green bean and test it against the specification, the requirements that we have on the green bean. Because we need to make sure it's a certain size, we need to make sure it's a certain moisture level. And so we get hundreds and thousands of roast sit and cup sit. And they use those sample roasters that you see right there. You see those cylindrical objects right there? So those are mini roasters, mini sample roasters, each taking about 80 to 100 grams of green bean. And we'll roast it by hand to a particular roast profile. We always cup it the next day for freshness. So if we roast the samples on a Monday, we're cupping it on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we roast on Friday and cup on a Monday. Waiting a day also allows the coffee to degas. As you know, as you roast coffee after it's roasted, it continues to degas for a while. And if you cup the coffee right after roasting compared to waiting for a day, there is a difference. So the profile, I'm gonna give you a little hint here. We all know like dark, medium, blonde roast, right? And those are finished good profiles. Meaning those are roast profiles that we use to roast the coffee that we're going to present to our customers. When we're cupping the coffee here, we're going to be using a different profile. It's a sample roast profile that we use that's always the same regardless of the coffee. What we're using this roast for is we're trying to get the most information that we can out of the coffee to distinguish whether it's good or bad or whether it has defects in the cup quality. And we don't want the roast curve, like a dark roast curve, to mask any of that, right? So if it's really dark, like French roast, that might be able to hide some sins in the coffee bean, right? But we don't want the roast notes to overpower the flavor of the coffee. Is that good? So that's a little bit of a hint. I'm sort of giving you a hint. So the coffee you're cupping here will be roasted to a different profile than any of the finished good coffee that you might have had before. I'm not going to tell you if they're a single origin, from a single farm, or a blend, but we're going to work on that. But the first step in evaluating the cup of coffee is we're going to smell the fragrance. And the fragrance, when we talk about fragrance, we're talking about the dry, the coffee, and when we talk about aroma, that's the coffee off of the wet. And with aroma, I'm going to have to share, but it's good to agitate the coffee a little bit and really get your nose in there. I think it's how well you know your bus buddy. You're going to be sticking your nose right in there. And I want you to smell and try to, just if any particular notes come to mind. Do you smell anything at all? Is there anything in particular? And then after you're done, move on to the second one. Someone had asked me this earlier. When we're cupping the coffee in the labs, and we're not cupping blind, we know what we're cupping. But this is a useful part of the exercise because you can also evaluate the coffee. You can learn a lot about the coffee from the aroma itself. Certain coffee should have certain aromas, and certain defects in cups can also give certain aromas. So it is possible to reject the coffee, to smell a cup of coffee and know that it's going to be bad right off the bat.
Yeah.
You guys think it's the same coffee? Different coffee?
No, different.
So Jesse, when we're setting up the coffee here, do you measure out the coffee in the cups? Does it matter? Is there anything particular with how you set it up?
So just like in our stores or whether we're making a press, proportions is very important in cupping room. So, and we work just like the cupping room at SCTC does, the cupping room at the SSC, and our other cupping rooms at farmer support centers. So it's 14 grams to 220 milliliters of water. Proportion is very important. 4.5 on the Denning grinder. The grind also matters as well. If it's really, really fine, it'll be almost sludgy, if you will. And if it's very, very coarse, almost like a French press, it gets watered down to a degree. It'll be strong coffee, if you will, because that's what you want in cupping. That's what we want. We want to find everything that coffee has to offer. And we just let the coffee talk to us.
Not telling you where we're going yet, but the tractor's what's going to get us. Make yourself a little. All right, so most of this ride, we're not going to yell at you. You just enjoy it. We'll point out a couple things. The biggest thing is we're going to be pretty close to some trees. Careful with your arms. You don't want to get scratched.
Hands, feet, and legs inside of the vehicle at all times, and please watch your children.
Okay, so this spot is called La Vista for an obvious reason. Any of the beautiful photos you see at the visitor center from afar are taken from right by these trees. It's an absolutely beautiful view. But there's another little tidbit about this. Where we are right now, over on your left-hand side, this space is going to be the location of the Sustainability Innovation Lab. So we are going to be partnering with, we already have partnered with ASU and are going to be investing into research and development in different ways. It's going to be an educational center. There's a lot that's going on. We just announced it out a couple months ago, but we wanted to kind of point out there's nothing happening yet, but it's going to be right here. Yeah, so right here you see Nitrogen Child. This is part of investing forward and looking at you're going to find little signs as we go on, plot number 1, plot number 2, plot number 3, and it is testing different amounts of nitrogen to find the right levels to share out with farmers so that they know and have information to hopefully reduce the amount of fertilizer usage, because fertilizer is the #1 contributor to carbon emissions. And then as we get going, I want you just to remember these little flags, these wonderfully named flags. We're going to come back to that later, so just keep that in the back of your mind. You're going to see a couple. You'll see almost waves, and it's a pruning cycle. So every 3 years they will prune down in rows. So if you look out, you see how it kind of makes the waves? It's just different years of pruning.
Look at all the coffee bags.
Here's another flag. No hunting or fishing. It's part of cafe practices. So a requirement is to have that posted. Even Alsacia has to go through cafe practice verification. Just because it's our farm doesn't mean we're exempt. That is fern production, so the ferns that you see in floral arrangements, that's how they grow them. They need to be covered. They need a lot of water. So there's a lot of irrigation that's involved. Part of the difficulty in that is it has the potential of impacting groundwater. You pump a lot of water through that area without any roots to be able to really hold the soil. That's going to drain into water sources.
national park. The volcano it was closed, and because of that, we didn't have enough customers during the first year at the visitor center. Now I think it's quiet.
Oh, look at
But still that
oh, it's cold already.
there for the summer.
All right. So,
Oh, thank you.
of course, thank you. Once again, our Hacienda Alsacia medium roast cold brew. But Victor wanted to share a cup with you at a very special place. As mentioned, this is the highest point of the farm. You're seeing Alsacia in almost all of its fullness from this vantage point. But first, let's connect together. Let's take a smell. Smells like it has sugar, right? Yeah. There's this. I
I
mean,
almost said teriyaki.
oh yeah, you're getting a little bit of the brothy. All right. Yeah.
Cinnamon brown sugar.
All right. Take a big Starbucks slurp. Where do you notice it on your palate? Middle,
Like middle back.
middle back. What's that?
Kind of middle front.
Yeah, mine's
Middle
like
front?
front.
Yeah. This
So
right? This is such an amazing cold brew. I absolutely love this coffee as a cold brew. It's smooth, it's rich, it's like milk chocolate in my mouth. Just, it coats, it's sweet, it's clean, it's yummy. That's an official tasting note, yummy.
Yummy.
Absolutely. You get a little bit of the spiciness, yeah.
I came here, it was in 2013. It was all this area it was covered with wheat, but the farm was completely abandoned. But I was thinking, this place, because I just was over here and then I see the view. I was thinking to build a small platform, make with maybe with wood, the same wood that we have over there. But after 2 or 3 years, I said, maybe we need a stronger place here because a lot of people would like to be here. Because I realized in that moment that we have visitor farmers or people in the coffee industry partners. That's why we built this platform. It's a special place because right at the beginning with the farm in completely different conditions, terrible conditions, we got the idea to have this place. And now every time I would like to think about all the work that we have been doing on the farm or all the work that we need to continue to be doing on the farm in the coming years. I like to be here to see the sunrise or the sunset or just to pay attention to the wind, to the birds, to inspire a little bit, think about the different labor that we are doing, how we can improve, how we can talk a little bit better with our partners, how we can be a little bit out of the basket. And I like to be here. I like to be here. I can be here any moment because it's something that inspired me to think about the work that we are doing at the farm, but also the work that we are doing as a company, and how we can improve, how we can face all the challenge that we have. Not only the challenge we have as a farmer, but the challenge that the farmers have. For example, yesterday we were talking about the productivity that they have.
Pop quiz, just going back to some things. How many hectares is Alsacia? 240. And we have how many in coffee production?
I kept hearing it in acres and hectares, and I'm all confused.
Yeah. 170. There you go.
Total.
All right.
70.
How big is a hectare?
About 6
Right?
foot 2. Yeah.
So it's about 2.5 acres. But you remember those flags that I mentioned? So let's look out here. You can kind of see them in the distance. 4 of them making a rectangle. That is a hectare. So when you're looking out over it, we wanted to give you something because every single time it's like, oh, it's such and such hectares, it's such and such hectares. I have no idea what a hectare is. It didn't mean anything to me. So being able to look out and say, that's it. That's what you're looking at. We wanted to kind of give you a little piece of that. So you built this place to come and reflect and to share un cafecito
Exactly. Yes.
with friends.
Yeah, sure.
As you look back, you've been on this farm for 10 years now. What are you most proud of over the last 10 years?
There are a lot of things. For example, if we have been moving from 400,000 trees to now more than 800,000 trees, the wet mill that we rebuilt, the daycare that we have, the clinic, everything about that it's made me feel really proud. But I can say that all this farm, the experience that we have been creating, is the thing that made me feel more proud about that. And the moment to share this experience that we have now with farmers, with customers, with partners, this special moment is something that I cannot believe, because right at the beginning I didn't imagine something like that. But you cannot imagine at the same time how can I feel happy just to be here with you, sharing the work that we have been doing. But it's not just my work, because it's the work that we as a team have been doing at the farm. And the moment that we have every time to share with you or share with farmer people in the coffee industry, I think that is the most special moment, something that made me feel really proud. They talk about productivity, but they are producing maybe 10, 15, 20 fanegas per hectare, but they realize that we are producing 170. 170 is too much. And they ask a lot of questions. That's why it made me feel really proud. I cannot stop. I would like to talk with you.
And I want to pause there. Let's think about that for a second, okay? Average fanegas per hectare in Costa Rica is 20. Average production. Here on Alsacia, we're averaging 50.
50?
I've seen 50, 60.
50, 60,
depending.
yes, between.
That's average. That's normal production. There are plots on this farm that are getting 100 fanegas on a hectare. We passed the plot. So at the corner of where that hectare is, that little triangle plot, in 2020, 170 fanegas from that hectare. What's that?
Is that the all-time high, like record?
That is our record. But that is not only. I have been in the coffee industry my entire life. I have never seen something like that.
Absolutely incredible. I love it, and just the perspective that he gives. One of the things you'll notice that Jade loves to do is the essence of things. So this is meant to be the thought of a child looking into their future. So looking toward farming with the farm hat that's not fully formed yet, but just kind of bringing that in. Kind of cool, because when I saw this, my brain went to home is where you are, and just kind of thinking of bringing home with you. For a migrant worker, they do that year after year. They bring home with them. Jade's vision for this was actually a little bit different, and it's that a picker wears the weight of the responsibility of home as they work, and brings that with them. It's just this connection to all of the hard work and being in a place that is not home. And the last piece of artwork here in the dining room is another just absolutely exquisite piece of artwork. This woman is holding the essence of coffee. But make yourself at home. We can even bring some chairs around if we need to. I'd love to just be able to center around the living room. Economic transparency gives us the ability to see all the way back to the farmer, and it accomplishes ensuring that farmers are cared for financially. There is social responsibility, so that's the fair trades, the things like that are looking at the community aspect, the people behind the coffee. How are we caring for them? Medical clinics, child care facilities, education, all of those type of holistic things that are saying, okay, this is This is us caring for the larger community around where coffee is grown. And then the fourth being environmental leadership. Are we caring for the environment it's grown in? Are we giving more than we're taking from the environment? So things like those nitrogen tests to figure out how to lower nitrogen levels. Think about going water neutral at the wet mill, reducing energy consumption by 50%, reducing fertilizer usage, working smarter. Like those are things that we're looking to invest in. And with those two, we want to see continuous improvements. So when we say cafe practices, it's a verification, it's not a certification. Because a certification, and again, certifications aren't bad by any means. I have certifications. You study, you take a test, you pass, you're certified. Maybe you have to recertify in a couple of years. Coffee Master is a certification. You get certified as a Coffee Master. So it's a good thing, it's great. And when we look at cafe practices, we said we want this to be continuous improvement. You should be able to see your score continue to increase year over year. And when that happens, you should see the impact positively. Financially, on the environment, on your communities, you're gonna see thriving all the way around. Farmer support centers. Okay? That is how we actually can accomplish it. You have soil scientists, agronomists, your Loanas, your Carlos Marios on the ground in these regions working with farmers, and it's open source. You do not have to buy to Starbucks to ask for help. A farmer that we visited last year, who his plot was dying, coffee leaf rust. He was getting, I think, about 14 fanegas a hectare, which wasn't worth staying in business, honestly. He saw Carlos Mario driving down the road, turned his truck around, and started flagging him down. Like Carlos Mario just driving into work, wonderful morning, and this crazy guy in a pickup truck is rolling up behind him, swerving, honking his horn, trying to get him to pull over. The guy pulls around and cuts him off. No joke, cuts Carlos Mario off, so he has to stop. Carlos Mario, well, it's happening. Okay, here we go. And he's like, Carlos Mario, I need help. Can you come to my farm? Can you see what's going on and give some input? Okay. So we went to his farm and we gave him seeds. And over the course of a couple of years, his farm is a paradise. It's incredible. It completely turned around. He went from 14 fanegas a hectare to 100 fanegas a hectare, was able to lease more land. Now he has over 100 hectares, and he is educating farmers in the area on cafe practices and ethical sourcing. Not only that, we're buying seeds from him that are now being used to give to other farmers. So the very seeds that we gave him are producing to give to other farmers. So connected to that, I mentioned seeds, seed grants. So giving out, we'll give a couple kilograms of seeds to a farmer as they need it. And it's seeds that Carlos Mario and Sarah are working on to figure out resistant to rust, strong roots, great cut profile, 100 million trees. Y'all heard of that commitment? Yeah. Right? So giving 100 million trees.
Okay, Katie. Katie is going to be representing an agronomist. You work with Loana. You help farmers with challenges that they might have. You help show them new ways to implement farming practices, use less water to increase productivity, and to increase the quality of their coffee. Lauren, you are going to represent a coffee picker who works on a farm picking cherries. You ensure quality by looking into your basket and only selecting the ripest cherries off of the tree, treating the farm with respect, and harvesting as much coffee to take back to Nicaragua or wherever you came from. So Caroline is the farm manager. She's in charge of running that mill, ensuring the dry mill, ensuring the coffee, respecting all the work that Lauren did to harvest the ripest cherries, and her work takes over at the wet mill. And she's going to sort that coffee, clean her machines, and process that coffee in both the wet ensuring quality all along the way. The coffee needs to be dried consistently, rested, and so her role is ensuring quality in the dry mill. And she is respecting all of the work that the coffee pickers have done and all of the work the agronomists have done to ensure a productive farm. Irina represents the exporter. So Caroline sells her coffee to Irina, and Irina holds that coffee, but relieves the financial burden of that coffee from the farm manager. So the farm manager can pay the pickers and ensure that they have enough money in the supply chain. So Irina is holding the risk of that coffee. And she's trusting the work done at the mill, and she's trusting the work of the coffee pickers. She's holding that coffee, and she's waiting for... And so Irina is holding the coffee, and she's ensuring quality all along the way, and now it's Matt Perry's job to maintain that relationship, to ensure that there's calibration so that when that coffee gets purchased, Irina knows exactly what to ship for Matt, and Matt knows exactly what he's going to get from Irina and her supply chain. Once that coffee is purchased and it ships, it goes to near a roasting plant, a port near a roasting plant, and a sample of that coffee gets taken out of that shipping container. And it gets overnighted to Seattle, where in our quality room, we roast that sample and we cup that coffee to ensure quality. And that team works 360 days a year. We're always getting coffee, and they can't stop because they only have 10 days to make a claim on that coffee if they need to go back to Irina and say, return to vendor. So Pierce is working in the quality room, ensuring tasting all that coffee and ensuring quality is respected along this entire chain. You're going to be next. So Katie works on the farms, helping farmers establish good practices so that Lauren could be there to pick the ripest cherries, so that those ripe cherries could get processed in the wet mill and the dry mill, sorted for quality, and ready for shipment for Irina to take over that coffee and find a buyer. And that buyer who is ensuring quality is Matt. And Matt makes that contract and maintains those relationships. They're so valuable to us because we can't make coffee without the rest of this chain. So Matt's job is to ensure he's buying the best quality. And then Pierce's job is to ensure that that quality is maintained upon arrival to our roasting plants so we can release it for roasting. So Mark can take control of that coffee. Mark's job is to roast the coffee. He knows what he's doing, and that recipe of that roast gets done, and it gets in a package, and it gets in the hands of Devin. Devin stands behind that Mastrena, and he opens that bag of coffee, and he pours it into the espresso machine because a customer has ordered it. So Devin's job, look back at this whole chain. It's all in Devin's hand now. He's going to open that bag, and he's going to craft a beverage. Ukenda is trusting that Devin's going to make that beverage, and that Mark's going to roast that coffee, and that Pierce is going to taste that coffee for quality, and then Matt's going to, I say that right? Mm-hmm. So look at this chain. At any point in time, if you don't do a good job making that drink, look at that. Just waste it. The whole chain has to work in order for us to deliver that cup to the customer what they're expecting. So one more time. Katie, what's your role?
I'm the agronomist.
Lauren. Bigger.
No,
Big farm manager. Farm manager. Mill manager. Yeah. You are the exporter.
So you're buying from them and you're selling it.
Yeah. Buying from them, and you're very important
Yeah.
for this.
Yes.
You're the supplier. Also called exporter. We kind of use those words interchangeably, if you haven't noticed. So then we have the buyer. We have the quality room. We have a roaster. We have the barista. And we have the customer. Completely essential. Everybody's roles. Thank you very much.
Farmer Support Center.
personally. I also
If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. It's been a wonderful experience here at Hacienda Alsacia in Costa Rica. Getting to learn all about coffee and coffee agronomy and every single person who makes every single bean possible. It's been a fantastic experience. Okay, I thought I was done filming for today, but oh my god, look at this espresso martini. Beautiful! In front of a waterfall.
As we conclude our night. But before I'm done with this microphone, I'm just gonna thank a few key people who we couldn't do this without. So you noticed trailing us all day was Mocha, who you met yesterday morning. I'm not sure where she is at the moment, but there she is. I was looking for the yellow shirt. So there's Mocha right there. Mocha, thank you so much for keeping an eye out for us, for taking care of us. Mocha was on every wave last year. And so thank you for keeping us safe and keeping an eye out for us and having our backs for the past 2 days. And many more waves to come. And Nancy's not here right now, but I just wanted to kind of give a shout out to Nancy. She went back to the Marriott to help Alpha, which is the next wave coming. They are all arriving into the hotel tonight, so she's helping getting them settled. Because Lennon and Mark are going to do this again tomorrow, starting tomorrow. Next up is the Farmer Support Center. So Paolo, thank you so much. Jesse and Victor, an extra special thanks to you. You know, we interrupt their normal work. You know, think about 6 months ago, what they were doing for work. They don't have all these yahoos parading through their office, dirtying up every mug in the place. And so I just wanted to thank all of you guys for making us feel like home when we're here at the Farmer Support Center, and also contributing to our program by providing your expertise, your time, and your commitment to these partners to teach them what you do, and so they can take it back and share with their customers and partners back in their home. So thank you so much.
It is your home.
It feels like it. So thanks, Jesse and Victor, especially because you guys really contribute to our agenda. And Paolo, thank you for keeping it all running behind the scenes. So, muchas gracias. I also wanted to thank the Visitor Center team. We come to them each year and we're like, okay, so we want to do this tour, but we want you to change it. We want you to do this instead of that. We've got these 3 groups, and we've got this whole rotation, and they seamlessly take our vision and make it come to life, and give you your first experience on Hacienda Alsacia, all the way through until your last experience on Hacienda Alsacia. So thank you, Freddie, Carol, who do we got over there? Mauro. Jeffrey and Oscar, yes. Thank you guys so much for, again, Matt Perry. He's like your favorite uncle you never had, your best friend. He hails from Portland, but he came all the way from Switzerland. I think he wins for the longest airplane ride to get here. He's going to be here all the way through our 3rd wave in December, so for the next 2 weeks. Matt, thanks for sharing your stories, your expertise with us, all the wisdom, and connecting all the dots for us about how we buy this crazy thing called coffee. And thanks for buying all the coffee and filling those reserve bags. My team, Lennon and Mark, you guys want to share? whiteboards, and we craft what we think we can make come to life. But really, it's through these guys, all their hard work in the off season. We didn't lose anybody. That's the #1 goal. Yeah, that's true. I should wait until we get to the Marriott. So I just want to thank both of you guys for all of your dedication to the partners and ensuring this experience goes off without a hitch. Sleepless nights, a dang WhatsApp group pings all night. So thanks you guys for that. Now, just a couple of logistics.
How about somebody else here?
So Rebecca, you know, at the beginning, for the past couple days, she's been having to deal with the three of us, Matt, Mark, and myself in our base camp, the dude crew, the countless dad jokes, the totes my goats, all that goes with that wonderful experience. She puts up with it for the most part. But I think, you know, the reality of it behind the scenes is what you guys don't see is the way her mind is constantly working to be thinking about what it's going to be like for you. So, Rebecca.
Make sure you gather up all your things, hug Victor one last time, and take all the photos, and we'll see you on the buses in about 10 minutes.
Hey, well, I'm here in my hotel room. Checkout day for the Coffee Master Origin experience. It was definitely more of an incredible experience than I thought it was going to be. Met a lot of wonderful people. Have so much dedication and passion. It's just incredible. All the partners that I met, they've just been wonderful people. So, so I hope you got to learn a little bit of something. I didn't include everything. I do still want the experience to be a surprise to those who get to experience it. I'm gonna go and try and say goodbye to everyone and not bawl like a little child. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. You know, here's to the sustainable future of coffee for everyone. We just met the nicest partners at the Starbucks here. They were so nice. Their food is amazing, by the way. There's only maybe 3 things that the regular Starbucks have, and they have like cakes and sandwiches and all sorts of cool stuff. They were very nice, yes. They wanted to learn or know all about like what we had and where we were from and stuff. They were awesome. And we're boarding the flight back to the United States. Going to Houston. Really good tailwind. Nothing, we just had really good tailwind on our flight, but now we have to race across the airport to go through customs and immigration and then go back through security and then race across to the airport at where the hell are we? Houston, there we go. To then try and make it back to our other plane. Houston, we might have a problem. So we have to race all the way back to a different terminal, which is a 20-minute walk from where it said we were going to end up being. So we have like 45 minutes a little bit over 45 minutes to try and do everything. Wish us luck. Okay, we made it through customs relatively fast. Thankfully, we're US citizens. The line was shorter, but now we have 20 some odd minutes to make it 3 terminals over. Look at all the waving kitty cats up there. We're walking and we're walking. We're gonna go through TSA security again. And we made it on the plane going home. Just another 4-hour flight. And we are now home. We made it. Our legs are only half asleep. And okay, so the turbulence, the lady next to me barfing into a bag, and the other lady on the other side, every time the turbulence hit, she'd drop her phone and grip onto your chair like she was gonna die. It's just bumps. It's fine.
I have no bad experience. Don't worry
final thoughts overall?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Amazing trip.
Mhm.
Incredible opportunity. Do
And
it.
yes, and definitely apply if you're a coffee master.
Become a coffee master.
Become a coffee master,
Become a partner.
and then you'll get to go to Hacienda Alsacia. Hey, I said it right. Thank y'all for watching. If you made it this far, thank you. And everyone else that subscribed that was on our origin trip, thank you for subscribing and for watching. Bye, everyone. Bye.